All right, Mike, we have to get more people interested in Forgotten Cinema. We need to really up the ante here. So we're going to start getting into fights. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to start getting random fights. What do you think? Good? You good with this?
We're just fighting podcasters now?
Just say you're good with it. Just say you're good with it and we're good to go.
All right. I guess
so now I've got 5 to 8 guys that are waiting. They're going to come down here and you're going to just start fighting them. They're going to fight you.
What?
Yeah, you heard me.
I'm going to fight people?
Yes. Quit beating.
You're coming in on this, right? You're helping me out?
No, because I am like the overseer. I'm the manager.
No.
That's what I am.
You just want me to be a goon by myself?
Yes.
On my own.
Well, wait a minute. I can't say goon it up.
You already did. This is Slapshot.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema, a show where we take a look at films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie or maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. You never know. You might find your own forgotten gem. If you love Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. We are everywhere. The backlog of over 300 episodes for you and your listening and viewing pleasure.
Oh boy. Stumbled there at the end. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I'm just, as you put it, gooning it up.
This is not that type of podcast. It's not my show.
I joined a local a minor league hockey team.
Yep.
And it turns out our team's being traded because we're not getting enough. We're not generating, traded. We're just getting shut down because we're not generating enough income because no one wants to see us. So, I've decided to, hire a couple of very, very gruff guys who are going to beat the crap out of people. And I'm going to encourage the rest of my teammates to beat the crap out of people. I'm going to do some psychological warfare on some other opposing team members and just, really make hockey the brawling kind of game for psychopaths that it is today.
That sounds like a very funny film, Butler.
It was in the 70s.
Uh-oh. We're doing the movie Slapshot. One of Paul Newman's favorite films that he's ever done, and is one of his favorite roles.
His favorite film.
So maybe you should show some respect. Okay? All right, so let's get into the facts, and then we'll get into our movie discussion, which will be interesting. So Slapshot has a runtime of 123 minutes. It's rated R, of course. Production budget of $6 million. It came out on February 25th, 1977. And if you are a regular member of the show, you know that back in the 70s, late 70s, movie releases and box office data is not what it is now. So I'm not going to be able to sit here and tell you it's total domestic. I can't tell you it's total domestic take. I can't tell you it's international take. I can't tell you what it did opening weekend because opening weekends are not like that back then than they are now. Movies. I mean, this movie probably was in the theaters for months. So
no VHS back then.
So there is no opening weekend numbers for you. I do have its total domestic was 28 million. If you're looking at international number, you're looking at it. It sold 3 million admissions, and it only came out in 2 countries. I want to say France and Germany. I'm not sure about.
Not even the UK.
No. Wow. So basically, its worldwide total is $28 million. So, like I said, it's a lot different. I said it came out on the 25th. Just so you know, like nothing came out against it. You have to go back to, so I'm going to go to the beginning of the month of February, and then I'm going to go through and go to the end of March. So I'm going to go February 9th. You had 2 movies that came out, Wizards and The Cassandra Crossing. We were talking about these movies beforehand.
Why don't you tell them about Wizards?
Go watch the trailer on YouTube, and then we can talk. If you want to talk about Wizards off camera, we can.
I would wonder if, our buddy Greg from the theater,
probably,
if he likes Wizards, because that seems right up his alley.
You think he knows about it?
I would assume.
I do want to see the Cassandra Crossing, so I already have that. When I saw that, a lot of times I'll watch the trailers for the films that are around the movies that we're doing, especially the older films. And I had never heard of the Cassandra Crossing, so I was telling him, it's got like Martin Sheen, Burt Lancaster, a bunch of people in it. So I was interested in it. So I'm going to check that out. The 10th, the next day after that, you had The Late Show, which is an Art Carney, Lily Tomlin film. It's like a detective movie.
That one kind of piqued my interest.
I'd watch that too. Yep. The 18th, you had Fraternity Row. I watched that trailer too. Don't worry about that one.
Was that like a Porky's type
It's
ripoff?
not. It's like a dramatic It's weird.
Who wants a dramatic frat house movie?
It's whatever. All right. So the week after this film came out, March 4th, you had Islands in the Stream. That is an act. That's actually a drama with George C. Scott. And it's directed by the guy who did Patton. So it's like they got back together.
I was going to say the title. I know the title, but I don't know the movie.
It's a Hemingway book. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably okay.
Yeah.
I probably read it then. I took a class on. Okay. That's probably why.
Okay. So the week after that, March 11th, you had Airport 77, which is the sequel to Airport 75, which if you've watched the airplane films, that spoofs those movies. So
pretty much spot on. If you watch the two movies back to back, you're like, wow, they really did like shot for shot. Just
absolutely.
Spoofed. It's awesome.
You also had The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh that weekend. The 31st of March, you had Black Sunday, which is about the terrorist attack, terrorist attack at the Super Bowl. Yes. Yeah, that's a book too. That's the guy who wrote Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs, Thomas Harris. I think that's his book.
Okay.
And then you had April 1st, you had Hot Tomorrows, which is, you don't have to worry about that.
Hot Tomorrows?
Yeah, Hot Tomorrows. Anyways, this film Slapshot, its production company is three: Kings Road Entertainment, Pan Arts Productions, and Universal Pictures, and it was distributed by Universal Pictures. It was also directed by George Roy Hill. Do you know who George Roy Hill is, Butler? Do you know what he has done?
He did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid,
which he got nominated for an Oscar. He also won an Oscar for The Sting. He's done The Great Waldo Pepper, which is a Robert Redford film, and the movie Slaughterhouse-Five. If you go into his filmography, he really hasn't. The last movie he did was Funny Farm with Chevy Chase, which is not good, but he really doesn't like the limelight, so he never really did a lot of interviews.
I saw that, yeah, and people were like lambasting him about being a bad director. It's like he directed The Sting and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Exactly. You don't like, that's not a luck. That's not like, oh, you got lucky. No, you obviously know what you're doing. He was a professor at Yale for forever after that.
Oh, like he just went on to do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the Jonathan Frakes from The Next Generation? After he directed a couple Hollywood movies, he decided to be a professor for a while.
Yeah.
Teach the skill, I guess.
Sometimes there's other things to do, better things to do. Yeah. Written by Nancy Dowd, who won an Oscar for Coming Home, although she claimed that they changed her script when someone else took it and changed it. So I don't know what you believe there. She has uncredited rewrites for North Dallas 40, Cloak and Dagger, and Ordinary People, as I hit my coffee cup. Cinematographer was Victor J. Kemper, who's done The Final Countdown.
A movie we did on the podcast.
Who did Clue.
A movie we did on the podcast.
And National Lampoon's Vacation.
We did not. No. That is not forgotten.
No. Edited by Dee Dee Allen, who was nominated for an Oscars for Dog Day Afternoon, Reds, and Wonder Boys. And then produced by Stephen...
Wonder Boys, I believe we have on the list.
It's on the list. Yeah. We don't talk about movies that are on the list. We talk about movies that we've done. Stephen Friedman and Robert Wunsch were producers. Friedman's done The Last Picture Show, which he got nominated for an Oscar for because it was nominated for Best Picture. He also did The Big Easy and then The Big Mind. And Wunsch has done the 1980 film Defiance. This has a huge cast. I'm not going to do every single person here. I'm going to do kind of like the main people a little bit. I'm not going to do every member of the team because a lot of them are just hockey players that they just kind of brought on. So obviously Paul Newman's Reggie. He has 10 Oscar nominations for acting. He has three Oscars total. One is a humanitarian one, I believe. And the other is like a career achievement one. But do you know what movie he won his acting Oscar for?
I'm sure you asked me during Road to Perdition.
Then did you tell me then?
Probably not.
Then you're not going to tell me now? You don't know it now?
Nope.
It's a sequel to a movie he was in.
The Big Chill?
No.
Not
he was
the Big Chill.
Not the Big.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of The Color of Money.
Yes. Why do I always think the name of that movie is The Big Chill?
Because you're weird. I
am weird. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing for Road to Perdition too, and I called it The Big Chill.
Which is a movie we did, which he was in as well, and he was nominated for. Strother Martin is McGrath. He is the not the owner, the general manager or something.
Manager, guy, and promoter.
Yes. He is in Cool Hand Luke, The Wild Bunch, and True Grit, the original True Grit. Michael Ontkeen as Ned Braden, who is their star player, who won't fight, who refuses to fight. You know, he's kind of like
he won't be a goon for Paul Newman's character.
Mike knows him from the TV show Twin Peaks, and he's also in the movie Postcards from the Edge. Jennifer Warren as Francine, who is Reggie's ex. Well, they're still married technically, but they're separated. She's in Night Moves and Ice Castles. Lindsay Krause as Lily, who is Braden's wife, who's having a tough time, obviously, with this life. She's nominated for an Oscar for Places in the Heart. She's also in The Insider,
a movie we did 2 seasons ago.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show.
Maggie Walsh. I just watched that season with Elise.
There you go. And she's also in The Arrival. So I always like to bring that one up. up. And then you had, so like I said, I'm not going to go through everyone else. Bunch of other people in this film. Jerry Hauser as Killer Carlson, Andrew Duncan as Jim Carr, who is the announcer. Von Barrett as Denis Lemieux, who is the goalie in this. Then you had Brad Sullivan, who plays Wanchuk, who's the guy who did who you're doing the tongue.
The horny guy. Yeah. Where have I seen him?
Sister Act 2, Back in Habit, in the Habit.
Okay.
The Untouchables. He is the guy in the Untouchables that I'm pretty sure shoots one of the what's his face, the accountant.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's him, but I've seen him.
He looks super familiar. Yeah.
Right. And then Melinda Dillon, the woman that he sleeps with, that is the wife of the husband, and
the other guy. Yeah.
And she started sleeping with women. She is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. She's the woman that goes to her son's kidnapped in Close Encounters.
The other person that goes with Dreyfus.
She's the wife in A Christmas Story. She's the wife in Harry and the Hendersons.
She's the wife in A Christmas Story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize her. I've seen that movie a bajillion times.
Emmett Walsh is in there as Dickie Dunn. He is the newspaper reporter. Blood Simple.
Young. I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen him young.
Yeah. Susie Kurtz is in there for real quickly as Shirley. And that's it. Like everybody else, I would just be saying names.
Yeah, the Hanson Brothers.
And we get, the Hanson Brothers are played by the Carlson Brothers -1 because it was supposed to be, I think it was Jeff Carlson, Steve Carlson, then Jack Carlson.
But he stayed to play.
No, he got called up.
Oh, that's right. He went to the majors. So he was like,
he got called up to the NHL, so he couldn't play. So they had someone else on the team. So this film, the Charleston Chiefs, the hockey team in the movie, are based on a hockey team known as the Jonestown Jets. And the Jonestown Jets are where they shot everything in Jonestown,
right?
In Johnston, Johnston, not Jonestown, Johnston, Pennsylvania. So that's so a lot of these players are from that team. So that team was still active while they were shooting this. So that's where that's from, because this movie is based on the writer's brother's experiences and stories that he would tell her that would happen to him in the minor leagues. So a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie, some form of it does happen in real life.
But she had originally wanted to do it as a documentary.
Right.
And it was the director who convinced her, hey, no, let's write this as an actual film.
Right. And so the Carlson brothers were on that team, and they were all going to be in this movie as the Hanson brothers. But obviously, like Mike said, one got called up, so they had somebody else from the team
whose last name was Hanson, and then they called him the
David
Hanson brothers.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
But the other people outnumbered they probably like the name Hanson more.
Maybe. So yeah, so that's kind of like a little bit of the history there. I have seen this film before.
I had never even heard of this film before.
Which
apparently in the hockey world, which I don't care for hockey, is huge.
Wow.
It's like a requisite watch.
It is a back in the 70s when this came out, it was like, it didn't do well in the box office, but had a huge cult following because it is a lot of people that are into hockey or just start getting into hockey, or maybe they don't know and they watch this movie, gets them into hockey.
Right.
Like it's one of those, it's a film that if you are into the sport, you have to watch this movie. Like it's really like that's in the culture. Anyways, I had seen this film. I had loved this film. When it first came out, I laughed at everything. As soon as I started watching it, my first thought was Butler's not going to like this movie. And I know why he doesn't like it, because of the language and just it's a film from late 70s. So you have to understand that if you watch it for the first time now, like Mike did. And I know you get that. I'm not saying,
I don't understand that,
but I'm just saying, so it is definitely dated in its language and what they're saying. That being said, I still laugh. I still think it's funny. I understand what's going on in the movie. But I'm curious. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but why don't you just like kind of give me your thoughts again?
It's all right.
Any people out there who love this film, direct your anger that way.
It's not as funny as I think. It's a very 1970s sensibility. I don't have that. I never had that kind of sensibility for that humor.
Right. Well, humor or filmmaking style, because
the filmmaking style is fine.
Okay.
It's that 70s film. I mean, obviously it's a little dated to me. But it's no different than like Porky's or some of those other films that were comedies in the 70s that they're just filmed a certain way, like a nitty gritty, like almost like and super early 80s, like the Michael J. Fox one we watched, which I don't think we did for this podcast. We did for The Pint.
Oh, Midnight Madness.
Midnight Madness.
Yep.
You know, when you go to like the mid late 70s to like that very early 80s, there's a certain style in the comedies, the way comedies are shot, because they probably weren't given a lot of money. So it's not so much the style, it's the language, it's the jokes, are all at the expense of just making fun of homosexual people. It's all gay jokes.
I don't think that's at the expense of them. I think it's
of the time.
Way people talk.
Get that.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's not funny anymore. And it just doesn't. Some of it it's okay, but like most of it not so much. It just doesn't land. And I think the movie takes way too long to get to the goon stuff. And I hate calling it goon stuff. I hate that that's a term that hockey uses, because it's not a term most people use that for anymore. But
what do they use it for, Mike?
Other things now, Mike. It's just like it takes too long, and I'm waiting for it, because the movie The Goon with Sean William Scott, I actually like that movie. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah,
it's good.
Just called Goon.
It's just called.
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
But I think that gets to it a little quicker. And in this, it's like it took 48. I like paused it, was like, when are we getting to these Hanson Brothers? Because I looked at the notes that talked about how everybody loved them in the movie. And I'm like, 48 minutes till they're put on the ice. Come on.
Well, they're the biggest breakout thing in the movie.
Yeah.
To the point where like they got offered to have a spin-off film, and they turned it down because they wanted to be pro hockey players, and which is the right move.
I get it. Yeah.
I mean, they end up coming back for the sequels, which are not good
in the 90s or 2000s.
Not good at all. And I think we talked about, I think I don't remember when Goon came out, but it was it wasn't right after American Pie, because he was like, Sean William Scott was like not doing a lot of films.
It was probably after the second one.
So I think that's where the popularity of these films,
came back.
Sequels came back. But I think one of the things you're talking about, not about the language, which we can talk about, was the storytelling style and the filmmaking style of the movie, is that when you compare a film like a comedy, let's just comedies back then, I don't think there's not a lot of story structure that is now. I think there is a, for good or bad, there is a over complicated focus on like story structure within comedies, where, you know, it needs to have this, it needs to do this, it needs to be like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just the madcap style of comedy from the 70s.
It doesn't exist.
That's how it's written.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I don't think there's really like you don't really understand what Paul Newman is doing, what the character of Reggie Dunlop is doing in the movie because he never voices it.
Yeah.
He's just behaving the way he's behaving. And then maybe like,
I mean, I kind of understood what he was trying to do, but yeah, you don't get to it in the movie.
If this movie's written now, Reggie Dunlop is coming to that realization in Act 1, and he's saying it out loud.
He's having a conversation, or he's telling Bradley or whatever, and he's saying it to him in private.
Yeah. It's not until Braden. It's not until Braden says to him, "I'm not going to goon it up for you. I'm not going to be until that moment." Like, you realize that
Braden knows.
Like, what he's doing is on purpose.
Yeah.
So, and that's just the style of storytelling. It's not good or bad. That's just what it is.
Oh, so, I don't hold that against it.
Right. No. I'm not. Right. And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you have to. Everybody has to understand this movie's going to be 50 years old in a couple of years. That's how old this film is. And to your point about the language, I yes, where it's coming from is it's locker room talk. I almost think like you could look at it in a way where when you're watching it and the way that they're speaking, because they just don't know about things. They don't know about obviously they are probably not not confident, but self-assured in who they are as a person, that you just make fun of. You say comments, you make fun of people because it's different. It's not normal, whatever normal is which I don't believe exists. So back then, so when you're watching it now, you're just kind of like you're watching. See, I laugh at the inanity not stupidity, inanity. Yeah. Of the men, of the guys, like you're just because they're just ignorant. They don't know. And I also don't think
I just don't find that funny to begin with.
But like, you don't buy them?
Even if it wasn't like just the gay jokes, I just was like, like some of the stuff, like the overly horny guy, like sometimes the way he presents his jokes are funny.
Right.
So like I still thought that was funny because he's just so over the top with it.
Right.
That's just like really funny. But like there's the joke that Reggie, like, when he's sleeping with what's his face's wife? I can't remember the guy's name.
Hannah Rand's
wife, and she's like, it's like, you never wanted to sleep with men? He's like, no, I get it for your point of view. And he's like overly explaining it. And it's like very like eloquent, like it makes sense. And
Right.
like,
Because
why
the female body, female body is beautiful.
But I see men naked all the time and it's gross. And I was like, that's kind of funny.
But that's the same joke from Seinfeld in the 90s when Jerry's trying to be naked because his girlfriend's always naked in her apartment. And he's telling Elaine, he's like, she's like, no. The male body is it's like, what does she say? The male body is good for getting around, for fixing things. It's not stuff like that. Like, but that's like the kind of the similar style.
Right. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Like I think overly horny guy is funny. Like some, like I do like some of the jokes laying, like when the guy is in the robe and he's like, I'm going to show him all. Everybody but my wife is going to freak out. And the promoter's still talking on the phone and you don't see it. You just see him go out to the fashion show and open up his robe to everybody. And everybody screams. I was like, that's funny. Yeah. There's certain things.
But a lot of these guys also aren't actors. Like,
they're hockey players.
They're just hockey players that are performing. Some have no lines, but some have lines. Like I read the note, but there's the guy that takes out his dentures in the
I saw the note. I was like, I didn't see that happening.
Yeah. It starts, it's in the beginning. He takes out the dentures and he puts them out and he takes out his mouth. So he basically takes all his teeth out.
Oh, at the very beginning of the scene?
That guy wasn't even in the movie. He kind of lied his way to get on set. And then George Roy Hill saw him take his dentures out and he's like, oh, we got to write that in there. So they wrote that in there. So a lot of that stuff is bred from the experiences of everyone there. See, that's the one thing the one part of the movie that I really like is the fact that a lot of these stories are true. Like the story where the Hanson Brothers starts to fight in the pre-warm-ups because did you see when they're skating around and he just clocks that guy?
Yeah, but why? I don't remember why he clocks the guy.
He clocks the guy because he was just skating close to him and he gave him a look.
Okay, yeah.
But in real life, what ended up happening was they had gone to that team's arena and the Jets had a black player on their team and somebody had a sign up that was derogatory about that. So when they came to their home turf, they started a fight like in pre-warm-ups because of that. And it was like, it went like 30 minutes long before they could start the game. I was like, I mean, that's just awesome. I love the fact that that's based out of something true that happened. Like, because when you watch it in the movie, you're like, oh my God, how did they get away with this? They do.
The second they start like just gooning it up, like,
problem with this.
It's so like, that's where I started laughing because it's so like, it's rough because they are hockey players. So there's no like, there's no regulation like it is now for fights. There's no helmets. There's no like, they didn't stop it. It's just immediately crushing people, kicking people, punching people. I was like, high sticking.
That's how it was.
So much high sticking.
But that's how I know. And that's what people liked. That's what people loved about hockey back then.
But the other thing is, if you make this movie today, you don't get those kind of shots.
Well, because fighting's basically taken out of the sport.
Well, they said look straight up boxing, but like not even just that, but just in terms of the way you would cut it, you would have to cut because you want to keep people safe. These hockey players clearly don't give a damn about that.
They were just like, shoot it, go ahead, we'll go play.
And they're really going with they're going to town, like smacking, beating up everybody, cracking them against the walls. Mm-hmm. Every time they do, I'm like, but I'm laughing because it's just like this is one. They go over the goalpost to it, the net to attack somebody at one point, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, there is, and I've talked about this before in 70s filmmaking. It feels like it's more realistic. It feels like documentary style, but it feels like it's just a bunch of people picking up a camera and just shooting. And there's no like regulation here or there. And I get regulation's great now and keeping people safe and all this stuff. That's great. But there is a level of like, just, gripping it and ripping it and just like kind of like going for it. Like when I used to make independent films, short films back in the day when I was in my 20s and you're just like, let's look at the shot. Let's steal it real quick. We're not supposed to be on this roof. Yeah, let's do it. Like that's to me, that's exciting. That's fun to watch on screen because it's real.
I would never shut down the Milford Green now and run between cars just to film something, but I did when I was starting out.
Yeah. I mean, I shot.
I was like, cops are coming. We got to go.
I shot at the train station, which was funny because I said, hey, I'm going to shoot at the train station. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Just thanks for letting us know. I was like, all right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was on the platform like at midnight and we were like doing stuff and they were fine with it. No one said anything.
We shut down the green doing a car chase. Like our car was chasing me through the green. And then all of a sudden we saw the cops finally came and we were like, gotta go. We took 10 takes. We were good. We're good. Go. Get out of here.
But that's indie filmmaking. But indie filmmaking's roots are from the 70s. So I think that's probably why
Skinny
I like that.
Pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you have liked Al Pacino as Reggie Dunlop? Because he wanted to be in this.
No, time. I saw that note. I don't believe that. Well, one, even Paul Newman's too short compared to all the other guys. They tower over him. Al Pacino is my height or shorter. And it would just look, you would have a hard time shooting it like that documentary 70 style without that being noticeable.
Right.
Secondly, if he can't skate, there's no way I'm going to believe it.
Newman could skate well.
Yeah. That people were saying he did circles over other people that were auditioning. Yeah. Like you can't just fake it. It's not like, it's like those movies you hear where they do Westerns and they ask the actor if they could ride the horses. And they're always like, yeah, I did not know how to ride a horse. But like, you can't just, it's harder to fake and do the shots the way they do it here.
Yeah.
You can't just cut away to a stunt double. They're on the ice doing everything. Plus, Al Pacino is an amazing actor, a phenomenal, amazing actor. I don't think he has the charm that Reggie needs, because Reggie is an asshole. Yeah. But Reggie is so likable because Reggie knows he has charm, and he knows he has charm. He has so much charm that he like exudes it in every scene he's in.
Well, and that's Paul Newman.
Yeah. And you need Paul Newman for that.
Yeah. I don't think Al Pacino has that level of charm. I think Al Pacino brings intensity.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that charm factor, that ladies man factor.
We're going to go in and we're going to kick him ass.
I mean, maybe in Cruising. have you seen Cruising?
Which one's that?
Oh man, no, you have not seen Cruising. Cruising is it's either Freakin' or Man, but it's Al Pacino's a cop. He's an undercover cop because they're trying to find a killer. This guy's targeting and killing homosexuals in New York City.
Oh, we've talked about this in the podcast before, but I have not seen it.
Goes undercover as like part of the scene, and it's just like there's a couple scenes where he goes to the nightclubs and it's like stuff's happening there, and it's like stuff's happened to the part. I'm like, that's not fake. So, anyways, Cruising's all right. I like it. So this is not the only sports movie that was filmed in Johnson, Pennsylvania. Do you know the other movie? And have you seen it? It stars Tom Cruise.
Oh, I read the note, and no, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Never seen All the Right Moves?
No.
That's what Craig T. Nelson, Tom Cruise, like young.
Yeah, I saw it was like 1983 or something. I saw that note. I was like, wow, this must have been like, that's around the time of Legend or whatever, because that was his first film, right?
Yeah, I'm like Legend or so like Taps.
Super young.
Right, he was in Taps.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
This is
super young.
Man. That's always remember that. You should watch All the Right Moves. It's good. I can't remember the lead.
I do like Craig T. Nelson.
He's like a jerk in it. He's like a football coach. He's a real jerk.
Yeah. So he's coach plays coach.
Yeah. I don't know who the love interest is. I don't want to. It's not Jennifer Connelly, but I don't know why I want to say that it is.
It's like a classic 80s.
This is a big time classic 80s, kind of like Vision Quest with Matthew Modine.
Okay,
he's the wrestler. It's kind of like that.
Okay,
I think he's a football player. I haven't seen it forever. You should really watch the young Tom Cruise stuff, because it's not like the action films he's doing now. Obviously.
Right. I know he started out like acting.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've seen like Risky Business and Cocktail and stuff like that. So
I've seen quite a bit of his
before that,
yeah, but I had never even heard of that.
Yeah, check it out. All the Right Moves. All the Right Moves. So I want to go back to the language and all that stuff and what Reggie is doing. So let me ask you this question: aside from your 2025 sensibilities in terms of based upon like what they're saying,
right?
in terms of in the movie. Do you think that Reggie is playing a part completely through the entire thing?
Yes.
So you don't think that he believes what he's saying? Because I know there's a couple times towards the end where he's just like, oh, I can't keep up. Like, enough already. Like, right. So you believe 100% Reggie is just getting to a point where however any way possible?
I think Reggie is Ned Braden, 30 years in the future.
Okay.
Like, I just want to play. I'll do whatever it takes to get me to play. But I think he's got Braden's sensibilities of, I want to play a regular game. When he says at the end in the locker room, like, I want to play like these guys, the old guys, the way hockey's meant to be played. I think he believes that.
Yeah.
But I think he's got to make this spectacle of it to keep playing, because he'll do anything to keep playing. Mm-hmm. Because like he says, like, he's older. Did they say he's 50? Because obviously he's 50 when he's filming it, but that seems ridiculous.
He's in his mid 40s.
His character's okay.
Like mid to late 40s, probably.
So close to what his actual age was.
I mean,
because he was 50 when
in the minor league system. I mean, you probably see there's probably a lot there's more instance of older guys in those because it's not the majors, it's the minors, it's the pro. So yeah,
I don't know much about hockey. So like baseball, I know you can be older and play, but like obviously football you can't. But hockey seems like a game where you need to be
like somebody like Tom Brady who was like in his 42. It's because he's a quarterback. He never got hit. He was just full.
Right. There's certain positions.
Yeah.
No, I believe that Reggie is playing a part. I don't think he actually, because I think when he says the stuff about like, oh no, I never thought about like he's not even that shocked when, oh my God, how Hannah Rand's wife talks about being gay and stuff like that. I think he's not that kind of gruff person that everybody else is, but he knows how to do it because he's been around it. He knows it's a way to keep getting the game.
It's definitely evident. He knows how he can get to Hannah Rand the next time he plays. He knows he's going to play that card. He knows it's going to work.
If he was the person that he pretends to be, he would have tried to sleep with Lily.
Yes, and I wanted to ask you about his relationship with Lily. Like, do you believe that? Like, what's the real reason why he wants to help Lily? Do you think that he sees how Braden is, and he's like, you should leave him, or does he want her to leave him because he wants Braden to fight? You know what I mean? Or does he really care for Lily because he wants her to find a better life? Even
before he gets the idea to turn everybody into goons, he seems to look at the way Ned treats Lily.
Are we assuming that he sleeps around or he's flirting?
Reggie?
Ned. We're assuming Braden sleeps around.
I think Ned just flirts.
Okay.
I don't think he's gotten to that point, but I think he's getting to that point.
Gotcha.
Because I think what Reggie sees is young him.
Yes.
And Lily is obviously Francine or whatever, his ex-wife or his current wife, who's his separated wife. And I think he wants to try to either save Lily from that and just be like, leave him now. Because like he says, I know this life because I did this life.
Yeah.
And you don't want to turn into that. And then, but I think or save him. Like basically he's disappointed in Ned for becoming Reggie, and Reggie feels bad for Lily because he sees everything he did wrong with Francine.
Right. Okay.
Because again, Reggie is not the rest of his team. He's young Ned. He's not a bad guy, but he'll do what it takes to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some reviews.
Lay mommy.
Variety. Director George Roy Hill is ambivalent on the subject of violence in professional ice hockey. Half the time, Hill invites the audience to get off on the mayhem. The other half of the time, he decries it. You can't really have it both ways, and this compromise badly mars the handsomely made Universal release produced by Robert May, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna jump in here before you say something.
Okay.
I absolutely think you can. What he's complaining about is how the movie is having the audience enjoy the mayhem, but also saying like you shouldn't be enjoying
glorify it, but say you can't.
You absolutely. That is, it's not one way or the other. It's not black or white. Yes. You can, like we just talked about, you can like something that's funny, but realize, oh man, that's not that good. You can't really say that kind of stuff now, like that in that regard. But the violence, yes, that's why people go to hockey games back then, definitely. But now they want to see the fights. That's why people go to the NFL football games, watch football. They want to see the big hits. But obviously nobody wants them to get hurt. They feel bad that you can I can be like, oh my God, he wrecked him. Oh my God, I can't believe I like that. Like that's absolutely, that's human nature. So this complaint is like, get over yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, in high school, I was a huge boxing fan.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like these people are beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And you commend them for their skill, but you're still like, no.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
But that's that. Yeah. Like you said, that's human nature. It is both. You can have your cake and eat it too when that happens, because that's life.
Because we're all complicated. We're all people with complicated
it's wrong
feelings and concerns and situations. We're all not one note. If I'm sorry, but if you're like black and white in one note, that you're not somebody that is of any interest to anybody else. You know what I mean? You're stubborn and you won't see things any other way.
As a good example of that person's review, why that person's review is wrong. Why do you watch a war movie?
Exactly. Yeah.
To watch the people watch the war stuff happen. Watch the bullets. Watch them.
Yeah, we won, but at what cost?
Yeah. Then you still feel bad when your characters and you like it. Like, when we're watching Fury like we did last week and the guys are getting taken out by the tanks, you're like, oh,
yeah.
But you feel real bad because like, oh, that actually happened. But that's human nature, is to like, even if both crave the violence and abhor violence at the same time.
Even in Fury, they still are fighting. They have to fight the Nazis, but knowing that the Nazis have signed up kids to fight for them, but they still have to fight.
You still have to, because otherwise you're going to get,
exactly.
Violence is just part of human nature, and we fight against it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That review is
we really hate this review.
That review is so wrong.
Kevin Thomas from the LA Times. Kevin, I hope you had a better review 50 years ago. The characters possess so little dimension since we have so little opportunity to get to know and therefore care about them. Their incessantly brutalizing behavior and talk can only seem exploitative in effect. What's more, in playing for laughs, Slapshot gives the nasty impression of seeming to patronize both players and their fans. See, this is a problem I have with critics. When people say, when the Rotten Tomato score and all that stuff, I don't care about that. The problem I have with critics and stuff like that is because you don't understand what the audience wants or enjoys or what will appeal to an audience. Do you know what I mean? Like people who watch this movie is a cult hit because people liked this movie, because people liked what it was saying. But when you listen to critics, and this is just two bad reviews, they don't get that. There's a disconnect between critics and the audience. And it's always been like that. And that's why I don't put a lot of stock in critic reviews.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with him. I don't think the characters are very well rounded, but I don't think the focus is Reggie. Mm-hmm. So I think Reggie is very well rounded, but I don't think you need any of the characters. The thing is that Hanson,
you know Braden.
Braden's got some stuff,
right?
But I like the Hanson Brothers. The reason I don't think a Hanson Brothers spinoff would work is because I don't want to know more about. Well,
they're the supporting characters. They don't have main character energy.
Exactly. Yeah. I like the weirdness. I like the toy cars and the thing, and they're just racing. It is being weird, but apparently that's also a true story. That's their actual race.
Those are their cars. Those are their cars. But that's the thing. They're supporting. They are a flavor. They are the extra in a movie. They're not extra in terms of like extras, but like the extra
killer's in there to just be a tool that he's using to showcase. Reggie changing the team.
There are characters we talk about it when we watched Lockout. That character in Lockout was a main character that we were like, the movie's okay, but we really want to see this character.
That person's character in
something else. Yeah. Like there are characters that are definitely main character energy. You're like, yes, I want to see them. But then there are characters and there are actors and actresses that are not main characters. They can't hold that gravitas in a film. Right. Hanson Brothers being one of those, but they know that because they want to be pro hockey players.
Yeah. Well, they're also they're just comedy.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. Like even if they were terrific actors, their characters, the way their characters are portrayed, is you don't want that. You don't want that expand. I like horny guy whose name I'm not even gonna bother trying to remember.
Wanchuk.
I don't need to get into his backstory of like why he's so horny all the time. Guys, it turns out I've actually never slept with actually that would actually be funny if they find out that. Guys, I actually never slept with a woman before.
I can't get to it.
I haven't been hard in 20 years. Like something like that. That would be funny and go with the comedy that they're trying to do. But I don't need to know more about his backstory.
No, I just need him to say the best line in the movie.
Say the funny lines.
Here's to all the gorgeous snatch in FLA. I just need that. I just need that line, which is, I still like that line. I apologize if that offended somebody, but that's the line of the movie.
I like that he comes out of nowhere too. Like he doesn't really have any kind of weird lines until about 55, 60
I think there's a lot of improv in the film.
And then all of a sudden he's saying all these weird jokes. Yeah. It's like, where's this guy coming from?
I think there's a lot of improvisation in the movie in terms of just like once they know the characters, like, I think they kind of.
Which is probably why Newman had the most funny he's ever had because it's not that rigid and he just gets to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that they give him that grill.
Oh, yeah.
It's very subtle, but it's like, every once in a while, at first I was like, does he have something in his teeth? Yeah. And then you kind of see it. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
Because he can't be perfect. He's getting beat up.
Yeah. So this review I actually like a lot because it's actually pretty funny. Gary Arnold from the Washington Post said, Slapshot comes at you like a boisterous drunk. At first glance, it appears harmlessly funny in an extravagantly foul-mouthed sort of way. However, there's a mean streak beneath the cartoon surface that makes one feel uneasy about humoring this particular drunk for too long. I actually like that. That's good. That's a nice review. Like in terms of like painting the picture.
Talking about the movie, but not actually like.
Yeah. You see the guy coming in, you're having fun with him, and then you're like, okay, enough. So, Mike, I guess I don't think you'd recommend this to people, would you?
It'd be tough. It would be tough. In today's climate, including like myself, I'm not like being like, oh, mamby-pambies. It's the jokes are really like, it's just like if you think saying the word like, saying those kind of words, just saying them are funny, then it's going to be rough for a while. I think it takes about 48 minutes before the Hanson Brothers come in. Then once they start doing the goon stuff, it's funny. I don't think just saying the homophobic stuff is necessarily funny. So the first part is just kind of like, I get this guy in the locker room talk, but that's not as funny today. Not even in just kind of like a mentality change of like what's acceptable, but just in a way that jokes are told now.
Well, okay.
So I think that would be rough to like somebody my age or someone who's more like 90s, late 80s comedy, early 2000s comedy kind of a way.
But wouldn't it be disingenuous if, for the sake of, this is the team that's together all the time. They're basically all best friends.
Sure.
And I'm not saying you say these things, but you talk with your friends much differently than you talk at work. So that's what I'm saying.
And I'm not saying that some of these words weren't used by us when we were kids, because it was,
I'm joking.
Again, we didn't know any better, and that's how people talked, especially guys being alone with each other. That's fine. And now it's unacceptable. And I'm not even criticizing the film for that. I just say that just saying those words in and of itself isn't funny. Or saying bad words on their own isn't just funny anymore in this climate. It's just a different kind of comedic sensibility. I think once the Hanson Brothers come out, but you got to take 50 minutes. And like I've said on other 70s films, it's tough because they're filmed so differently. The documentary style, the loose story structure, like you say.
Right.
I think that's definitely apparent in comedies, but I even think in just film in general, that just they have that kind of looser story sensibility where you have to kind of glean the story on your own. They don't spoon feed it to you, like you say, better or worse. So it'd be tough for me to be, you gotta watch it. I think if you like hockey, you'd like it. I think if you like Paul Newman, I think it's kind of interesting to see Paul Newman play a kind of a more sleazy character, but with that charm. So I think you'd have to like film and be okay with like 70s film style.
If you want to know what movies are like without,
takes too long to get to it.
If you want to know what movies are like without consistent notes from executives and executives, controlling how stories are told, that's why I love 70s films, because that's what it's like.
All right.
That's why, because it's evident that it's not corporatized, and it's not, like you said, being spoon fed to me and stuff like that. Like I do have to figure it out. That's why I enjoy 70 films, probably.
I also think that there's not nostalgia bias, but I think that everybody really prefers films from their youth. Like, and I know this is like, well, by youth, I mean like, so I enjoy a lot of those mid to late 80s films.
Sure. Me too.
But I was born in the mid to late 80s.
Sure.
You were born in the mid to late 70s.
Okay. Don't out me.
And so that's where you gravitate toward. I think we gravitate toward that like generation right before we were growing up, the movies that were like already there. Like,
yeah, because these are a lot of movies that I missed because I was too young for.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want to not watch films that I don't want to just. Because here's the thing, because as you get older, but like when you like a lot of these movies that we talked about before, like the Cassandra Crossing and the Late Show, like I would have never even sniffed these films if I wasn't into film. We didn't talk about them. So you don't want to forget those because in 20, 30 years, like there are people that work now that have no idea what Dirty Dancing is or have no idea what Back to the Future is.
Yeah, there are people like that.
That's what I'm saying. That's depressing because it's like you shouldn't forget those movies. You have to pay homage, like because a lot of these movies you watch now, their roots are from those older movies.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying that's my point. Is more like not to knock that,
right?
But it's like I think people gravitate toward those movies that came out when they were born. And I don't know why. I mean, like,
you think so? But like for the sake of argument, you think somebody, who is going to in like 20, 30 years is our age is going to gravitate towards Thor: The Dark World because that came out when they were born.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. That movie sucks.
It does, but I think that's what
even my son doesn't like because he's going through the MCU watch right now, and he's like, the Thor movies aren't that good. I go, no, they're not. They're not that good.
I don't know how you could like Thor 2.
Nobody likes Thor 2. Nobody. They're boring. Even Thor Ragnarok is fun, but it has no story, and and I don't know why we're starting to talk about. You know what? If you want to know my thoughts about the Avengers Infinity Saga, go watch go watch yet another MCU podcast. All right, Mike. So why is it forgotten then? For the reasons we're talking about?
Yeah, it's like you said, almost 50 years old.
Yep.
It stars Paul Newman and then a bunch of other people that are in things, but not big names, not like household names. I think that hockey is not the most popular sport, especially in America. Like in America, especially like it's baseball, football.
But it does have its fan base is very strong.
Yes.
Those are
which is why it's got like that cult following.
Yeah.
But I think that outside of those hockey fans, it's harder. It's not like a cult movie like Evil Dead or I don't know, even like If you go 70s, like Porky's.
You're really into Porky's today.
It's just like a comedy. I just
know,
like raunchy comedy in the 70s. I don't know
American
many.
Pie. American Pie in the 90s. That's
American Pie in the 90s, but that wasn't really a cult hit. That was a big hit.
Sure.
Yeah. But I always compare everything in the 70s to Porky's.
Well, Porky's is a big hit. It wasn't a
That's
cult
what
either.
I know.
Yeah, Porky's is a big hit.
But nowadays.
No, it's outdated.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
So maybe my Porky's analogy is wrong. All right. Is that what you want to say?
Join us for our Porky's lead up.
It's not a cult hit like, all right, let's just use Evil Dead as
Or Dead Alive.
Or Dead Alive,
Yep.
which we're going to be doing on our Forgotten Horror coming up. Those films, because they're a broader type thing, it's just horror.
Yeah.
Whereas hockey is a lot more restrictive. I think that like it stays a cult hit within hockey fans, but it doesn't really go further than that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 70s-ness of it, the lack of stars, and that it's hockey.
The
So it's a little
70s
more-
of it all.
less of a wide appeal.
Well, I would recommend it to anybody because I think it's hilarious. Obviously, if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it, but I still think
I
it's a
noticed
funny
all
film.
your picks. You're like, I would recommend it to
Yeah,
everybody.
that's why I picked them. And I think you're right about it's forgotten. It's just an older film, so I just think that
It's nice that it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, when this comes out, because we're saying that, it's going to be off Netflix.
I'll be on Stars. So I mean, I get why it's your points are valid for why it was forgotten. It's just it's an older film, and I think that's sometimes it's as simple as that. All right, where can they find us? Oh, excuse me. I'll ask again.
Well, you can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. You're watching, listening to us right now. Go ahead and like, rate, subscribe. Tell me why my takes are wrong because you love this movie. You clicked on this probably because you love this movie. So tell me why I'm wrong and because my sensibilities are out of whack or whatever. I get it. What's your favorite hockey film other than this film? Let me know in the comments below, as well as why I'm wrong. And if you like the show, you want to hear more of my incorrect takes, you can go back. We've got over 300 episodes. Like I said, we got our lead ups. We've got our now showings. We've got a Patreon. If you want to support our show, you can join our Discord, get merch discounts, get exclusive episodes. All that kind of good stuff's on our Patreon. You can also sign up for free just to keep track of everything we're doing. We put out a lot of content, so go check us out there. And yeah, that's what I got.
All right. And join us next week as we are going to do our audience choice film that we put out. If you follow the show on Instagram and YouTube and everywhere that you saw, we put out a poll. I'm safe to say that this film won because it got most votes on Instagram and it broke even right now in the YouTube poll. So I think we're good. We're going to be doing the Steven Spielberg film War Horse. That is going to be next week. So that'll be very interesting. I know it's a long film, so get ready, Butler, for a
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
event.
why is this on here?
I need to get ready for a 3-night event. I'm really happy I remember liking the film. I know it's one of the Spielberg films that doesn't get a lot of talk about.
Doesn't get a lot of love.
It doesn't. And I've always wanted to go back and watch it. So I'm glad that I'm going to have the chance to, because, it, like you said, sometimes you don't go back to watch it unless it's part of the show. So
especially when it's 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh, yes. Terrible. That's going to be a 4-night event. I'm going to have to start this on like Monday. All right. So that's next week, War Horse. And then obviously after that, a Forgotten Horror season 7's coming. So that'll be exciting for everybody and for us because we enjoy doing that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema.
Keep gooning it.